Hello everyone, it's Scribbany and Tina.
Hi.
Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day and that you guys are in the best of health.
Yes, with health as always being most important. And we hope you guys are watching the series of Eric just reliving his life, telling the good, telling the bad, but so that you guys can really get to know, like we said, Caribbean. This is fourth in the series. It's taken a lot. I knew it would.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a long life. And we left off last time with a big reveal that he wanted and your stop at Ranch Hope.
Right.
So we went over how you stayed at Ranch Hope, went to a foster home after that because you ran away again. Now you are put back with your sister, you ran away again, and you're now in your senior year of high school.
Right.
And you end up getting sent, because you are 18, to the YMCA in, is it Newark?
Newark, New Jersey, downtown, Broad Street.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So I think that's a good point to start off with. Now you're in school, you know that you're going to graduate, and that at that point, all of the aid and everything that they were helping out with, the government that is, would stop because you were graduated and at the age of maturity, which was 18. So you're at school during career day. What happens?
So I'm at school doing career day, and I'm walking around just looking at the different tables and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, for the rest of my life. And I seen a recruiter. He just walked up to me and he said, "Hey, have you thought about, career and, electronics, stuff like that?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "That sounds good. I mean, what is it? What is it about?" He said, "Well, here's my card." He said, "Take my card." And he said, "I can explain it all to you." And he said, "You can drop by my office anytime I'm on such and such a street." And I was like, "Well, I don't know what to say." He said, "Don't worry about it. I'll come and get you."
An Army recruiter.
An Army recruiter.
Okay.
So he came and got me in a four-door military green Ford Maverick. And I'll never forget the car. And he had U.S. Army on the side of the car, the decals. And he picked me up and we went down to the recruiter's office and we had a long conversation.
Okay, so you decide that travel and getting out of Jersey sounds good.
Right.
And you sign up. You do your ASVAB tests, you do your physical, you get all your inoculations, and you go to basic training. Where was basic training?
My basic training was at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, which was in Lawton, Oklahoma during the time.
All right. So they bussed you guys out there?
No, I got a bus. They gave me a bus ticket from
Jersey?
Newark, New Jersey, all the way to Oklahoma. It took me 2 or 3 days to get there.
Okay.
But I got there, and when I got there, they knew I was coming, so somebody at the bus station waiting for us all put us on a green bus and drove us on base.
All right, so you go through basic training, you graduate. Now, your graduation for high school and your graduation for the Army, one in Newark, one in Oklahoma, did any of your family members show up to either? Okay.
I was so far away that nobody showed up for my basic training graduation or my AIT graduation. There was 2 graduations, graduating classes.
Right.
And also, nobody ever came to my high school graduation as well.
Right. So it was that was kind of a given that even if you were in Jersey, they still weren't going to show up. Okay.
Right. You kind of feel like you're in life by yourself.
Right.
Nobody there to celebrate you, but you're always there to celebrate everybody else.
So like you said, you graduated basic training and then went straight into your AIT training?
Straight to my AIT,
which was there.
Same base.
Okay, on same base. All right. So you finish AIT. It's your first time living out in New Jersey. You're feeling a little homesick, huh?
Yeah, I was feeling a little homesick because I've been gone for over 6 weeks.
Okay.
That's the longest I've ever been out of New Jersey at one period of time, because I didn't stay that long. I ran away. I was just like, they only kept me for 2 or 3 weeks and then went back. But this is over 6 weeks. I think almost 8, because I spent a great 6 weeks in basic, then I spent quite a few weeks in AIT, learning my main job that I'll be doing when I got to my main duty station.
Okay. And you knew which duty station you were going to, but they did give you a break, and then your break in between, you decided to go back to New Jersey to see your family and see your mother. Yes.
Right. I wanted to go back and say goodbye to everybody because I know I was going to be shipped overseas, and I know we're going to be seeing them no time soon.
Yeah, you knew you were going to Germany, right, for 4 years.
For 4 years.
Okay. So you go back to New Jersey. You stayed with her mother at her apartment. She had finally gotten a place of her own.
Right. My mother stayed on Grove Street, and I ended up staying with her. I know I was home for a while, and
there was an incident that happened.
And there was an incident that happened.
What happened?
Well, I had all my pay
from the military.
From the military.
Okay.
You know, a lot of money. Well, the whole time I had been gone, I didn't have a bank account then. I had all my cash in my wallet because I know I was in transition. So I took a shower. Went to my mother's house, took a shower, took my wallet, put it down there because I figured I didn't have to worry about nothing. But my mother, she was in the kitchen and my uncle was there. Mm-hmm. And so I'll take a shower and I'll get back out. Something said, go check your wallet. I checked my wallet, all the money's gone. So I started raising hell. I mean, I really started going nuts because that's all I had till I got to my next duty station because that's all the pay that I had and I saved it all up. So.
And you worked hard for it.
And I worked hard for it. You know, foxholes, the whole 9 yards, road marches, everything. So, and I earned that money. I didn't,
right.
You know, I earned that money. It wasn't a government handout. I earned that money. So I started raising Cain, went in the room, slamming doors and everything. When I finally came out, all of a sudden I see my money just reappear out of nowhere.
Well, your mother did ask, didn't she, what's wrong? And you said,
she said, what's wrong? My money been so she must have said something to my uncle because when I came back in there, it reappeared.
Now, your suspicion was on your uncle because your uncle was in trouble for what? Or had been in trouble for?
He had a bad habit. He was a drug addict. Okay. He shot needles the whole 9 yards. So I knew that's probably where the money goes to be able to support his habit.
Right.
You know, so you can't lay that kind of money down for, you know.
Yeah, you learned a valuable lesson.
Yes, I learned a very, very valuable lesson.
So then you got your orders. You knew you were going to where? Outside of Stuttgart?
Yes, it was a little small town called Schwäbisch Gmünd. And so they flew me, and I got ready to go. I went to Newark Airport. I flew commercial. They had cut me a ticket when I left AIT. They cut me a ticket to Jersey, and then they cut me another ticket. And I had a certain date to get to the airport to get that commercial flight, big old 747, all the way overseas. So I had a night flight, red-eye flight, and I got to Frankfurt, Germany the next day. And I met up with the people that was at the airport to pick, because all of us had brown envelopes.
Soldiers, yeah.
Soldiers, everybody, a whole bunch of us was there. And they took me in, processed me in, and then they shipped me to maybe a day or two, and they shipped me down to my duty station, to the town Schwäbisch Gmünd, put me on a bus or train, whatever it was, and shipped me down to my duty station.
Okay. And so before we get into, because you did 5 years at that station, but before we get into that, when you were home, you did see your sweetheart from senior year.
Right.
And you got engaged, you said?
Got engaged to her.
And then sent for her.
And she sent for her to come over and join me, and we got married overseas.
In Germany?
And yeah, the German City Hall, something like that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So you got married after 1 year of being in Germany. Almost right. A year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You had a child on base in Germany, correct?
I had a child in Stuttgart.
During those 5 years,
mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then there you were doing field artillery brigade?
It was field artillery brigade, and we go to field a lot. You know, it was all over the place. And, you know, some of the stuff was top secret. But.
And during that time, you did run track. So this is when you got your first...
That's when I started running track, because I know recently from high school. So I was still in shape, so I started running track. And I just went to one track meet one weekend with a friend of mine. She said, you know, and I said, oh, I'd like to go there with you. He said, well, come on. So they had an old van up, so I went. And for me not ran that race before, because they always held me back. And when I was in high school, because I think that was the coach was kind of races, I believe, my cross country coach. But I had ran cross country when I was in my junior year and my senior year. So I was in shape. So after all that running, 2 or 3 miles.
So what race did the Army put you in?
So the Army put me in, I figured, okay, well, I just did a 400 meter dash. Mm-hmm. The 400 meters, just one real fast lap around the track. And I did that, and I took 3rd place, and it was a national, a national meet, all the people, all the soldiers in Europe, in USERA. So I was impressed because I took 3rd place.
No training.
No training.
Wow.
You know, and I was really fast. Because I mean, when I was growing up, my neighborhood, You have to be fast.
What else did they have you run in the Army besides 400?
I ran the 400 meters. I ran a 100-meter hurdles, low hurdles. I ran 4x400 meter relay, and that was always the anchor leg or the second leg,
Bring it
or the first leg. Bringing it in because I was the fastest guy on my team. So I did that. Competed against some really guys that had already been to the Olympics, and my time was just as good as theirs, and I qualified pretty much close. The world record was a 43, and I ran a 47 flat, so I wasn't too far away from it. But they said if you wanted to go, all Army represent the all Army track team, you can. And I said, no, I'm not sure I want to do that right now because then I have to pack up and I got tired of moving. So I said, well, I got a young family here. I'm not sure that's going to be the right thing for me to do right now.
So you could have left for the Olympics with the Army
I could have
team.
went back to the States, trained with them, and ran for the all Army track team.
Wow. Okay. But you gave it up because you had a young family.
Had a young family,
You had your son and your wife in Germany.
Right.
So now you are done with your 5 years. You're going to Fort Campbell, Kentucky for 3 years. Did you get sent there?
Yeah, I went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, but I went to, because that's when I went to Air Assault School, started doing ministry there. A lot of things changed when I got to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. There
was a lot. You had a second child.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, so you had a second child. You were an Air Assault School champ while you were there. And then you started helping with ministry. How did that get into church work in the military? How'd that happen?
Well, I kind of stayed with my roots, and I still was going to chapels, services, and I ran into a guy named Chaplain Moody. He was a captain. And so I would be with him and help him out doing stuff around the chapel after the services. And then and he asked me if I wanted to go with him sometimes to the stockade. During the week, do Bible study with the guys that, murderers and everybody else that was on base in the stockade. And I said, yeah, I would love to go for the experience and see some of these guys' stories. And I kind of went with him to do that. And, got a chance to really see what really goes on behind closed doors, and was really thanking God that my life could have been like their lives. And I didn't want that kind of life.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is a good stopping. You started your church work through the military, and we will take a break from there and get back on the next video. So,
in the meantime, between the time, always remember that life was always meant to be enjoyed.
Yeah. So don't forget to hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this and all videos a thumbs up so we can bring you some great content. And we'll see you on the next video.